Death on the Nile is the third film that I have watched this past week, and not surprising, it was my favorite of the three. So the three were Blacklight, Uncharted, and Death on the Nile. Now, there are a few things I didn't know about it until after watching the film, like it's a sequel to Murder on the Orient Express, which I didn't even know was a film. I had to find that out after the film. And it's also not the first adaptation of the film, which is an adaptation of a novel written by Agatha Christie, if I recall correctly. So this film has a lot of mixed reviews. A lot of people don't think it's as good as the previous adaptations. I can't really make those comparisons because I've never seen them. All I can judge is what I've seen in this film. And what I've seen in this film is a very thought-provoking mystery that kept me engaged far more than Uncharted or Blacklight or any other film that I've seen this year. But it's a film you might only watch once because after the mystery is solved, that there's not really much of a point in going back to watch it, other than like going back to see like details you might have missed, which I might do because there was a lot of things I didn't catch because I was so busy trying to figure out who did it. I did have my suspicions throughout the movie, and for the most part, I was right, but there are some things I got wrong or some things that I didn't really know fully. But anyway, the basic premise of this story is that there is a man named Hercule Poirot who is a Belgian man who served in World War I, who then became a detective, and he was supposed to be with someone who loved him despite his injuries in World War I, but she died, and it kind of killed his like interest in love at all, and he just kind of just became this cold-hearted detective who only cared about facts and following his gut. He's invited on the trip to the Nile where a murder takes place. Several murders take place, and he has to try his best to figure it out despite being emotionally connected to one of the victims. Now, there are way too many characters for me to be listing and worrying about, but everybody on the boat, everybody in the Nile is in some way related or connected to Lynette, who is played by Gal Gadot, who is the bride, and Simon, who is her husband. And the film does a pretty decent job at setting up everything, showing that everybody has motive, everybody has a reason, and Hercule Poirot basically implicates everybody's part in Lynette's murder. And it's fairly easy to understand what everyone's motive is. They do a good job at explaining every individual one. But what I love about it is throughout the film, even though you know who has motive, what their motives are, and you see more clues as to who you think might have done the murder, it's still like very engaging and thought-provoking because every time you think you know who did it, Hercule Poirot might uncover something different that might change your mind, and then your mind will be jumping from one case to another. You'll be thinking, oh well, it might have been the godmother, it might have been the best friend, it might have been her husband, it might have been the ex-wife, it might have been like this person, it might have been that person. So the whole mystery part of the film was fantastic. I really enjoyed it. Again, it's probably something I'd only watch once unless I'm going back strictly to find the clues that I might have missed. Now that aside, the cinematography is kind of off. Like often you could look at the screen and tell that was 100% green screen. Like they didn't go to Africa, they didn't do any of that. Mostly everything in this film is CGI or green screen. I mean, they might have gone to Africa, I don't know, but like every time you look at something, it looks 100% artificial. So they might have gone to Africa. If they did, I don't think they went to the actual Nile. If they did, then all that scenery was still CGI or it was green screen because none of that looked real. So, and because of that, it doesn't feel as authentic. Also, the music could have been a little bit better. Everybody knows that music can make or break a scene. It can create tension or it can completely take it away. So it wasn't bad, but it could have been a lot better. Now, there was also this scene where Gal Gadot's character Lynette is like dressed like Cleopatra next to the river. I don't know what that was about. I didn't understand that at all. I thought that was going to have like some involvement in the film later at some point, but it didn't. I have heard that Gal Gadot is rumored to play Cleopatra in a biopic at some point. I don't know if that's true. I don't know the validity behind those rumors. I would be interested to see that. I think she would make a great Cleopatra. I know some people are upset about it because they think that Cleopatra should be someone of color or she should be a black woman. I mean, maybe, but that's the beauty of film. Like in film, as long as it makes sense, you can do whatever you want. And Cleopatra, if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, she is of Greek ancestry. So I think it would make a lot of sense to me. But again, in films, you can do whatever you want as long as you make it make sense. But anyway, that part was dumb. I don't know why they added it to the film. But other than that, it was a pretty enjoyable film. I thought they did a very good job at connecting all the characters together, and Hercule Poirot, played by Kenneth Branagh, he does a really good job. I'm really looking forward to seeing him on Murder on the Orient Express, which I have not seen yet. And just like I don't want to be spoiled about that film, I'm not going to spoil the mystery in this one. I mean, have you seen like previous adaptations and like the murder mystery is the same? Cool, but if anyone hasn't seen it, I'm not going to ruin the mystery. That way you can just go watch it and like figure it out for yourself. But I think they did a really good job at piecing everything together and like showing like the motive of every single person on board. And I enjoyed it. It was a really fun movie to watch. But let me know what you think in the comment section if you've watched it, or if you've watched previous adaptations. Like, let me know what you liked about those ones more, because I'm really interested in seeing those and Murder on the Orient Express. Hit that like button. It does help me a lot. Subscribe if you have not already, and I will catch you next Friday. See you then. Bye bye.